Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing my cultural bag, which is going to convey the items that symbolize the values of my culture, which is American culture. So let's get started. My bag is a sports backpack. Now, this itself is important to my culture because sports and athleticism, but also, I guess, knowledge or institutions of higher learning are important because I don't know a backpack is synonymous with carrying books and knowledge and other needed items. So I think this is a great way because I literally use this every day. It reeks, cause but yeah, I think this is a great way of showing what's important in my culture because it's indicative of so many things that are important, um, sports, schooling, and knowledge. So yeah, now let's get started on the items inside. To start off, I'm pulling out my wallet, and in that, I'm going to be pulling out a family photo, which I keep with me every day. So, of my nuclear family, my mom, dad, my brother, my sister, and in the center is my grandpa, who is now deceased. Now, I choose a photo as my first item because in American culture, family is, of course, valued extremely highly because, like, not just because it's where, of course, you come from, but it's where you're nurtured, it's where you're fed. They're the first people that you begin to learn from, of course. So there's not just that, but also in American culture, memories and past experiences are extremely important. If you go into any American household, you'll see photos of family members alive and deceased all along the walls. You'll, if you look, you can find photo albums of like past experiences. And also littered through all out America are vast giant graveyards, which are literally just plots of past lives and experiences. So I think that a photo is indicative of showing that in American culture we value the past a lot. We place so much emphasis on what's happened behind us. And I think a photo is just a great way of showing that we value the experiences of our loved ones who are no longer here and how they've shaped us, how they've altered our lives. And we keep photos and mementos of them around us. Next, in the bag, we've got running shoes. Now, I choose running shoes not only because I wear these every day when I go to cross country practice, but also because these symbolize so many things valued in American culture. If you turn on the television at any time of the day, you can find some sort of sport program, some sort of information about sporting events going on. There's multitudinous networks that are sole purpose is to dispel information and news about sports. ESPN, Sport Network, the Big Ten Network, the SEC, etc., etc. There's a plethora of these out there, and that goes to show that in America we place huge emphasis on sport entertainment, on these areas to kind of, I wouldn't say lose ourselves, but to direct our attention, to kind of just forget about our problems and just focus on these extraneous things. And also, it's also indicative of the emphasis our culture places on body image. If you look at any sports magazine, I mean, Sports Illustrated, of course, is a great example. What are the people you see on them? You either see huge, muscular, buff men or slim, beautiful women. And that just goes to show that America is obsessed with sports and with that ideal perfect body image. And I know that's kind of a far way to go from shoes, but also these are a great way of showing kind of these how the sport apparel companies and uh, just like industry is extremely important in America. Nike, of course, a huge corporate conglomerate that just shows the importance of capitalism and monetary value that America places so much value on. So yeah, kind of a lot of jumping off points for just a single pair of shoes. But next, pulling out something that everyone has, phone, cellular device that we keep in our pocket. Now this is kind of like the shoes. This can show so many different things that are valued in American culture. Uh, I I literally could go on and on, but a couple that are extremely important are value on technology. Having the latest best gadget is of course extremely important. Being interconnected, communication, talking, that's valued super highly. I mean, you can't go a whole day in America without someone yelling their opinion at you. That's just what's going to happen in newspapers, on the internet, YouTube, anywhere. Opin- Communication, opinions. That's going to happen. So yeah, a phone is indicative of so many things like that. They're super important in American culture. I literally called my parents earlier today. This can also be connected back to how family is extremely important, or being connected to friends and loved ones is valued extremely highly. Next, we have watch. Now, bear with me. This is kind of gonna get kind of far from starting with this, but it makes sense. So, this is an Iron Man watch. The Iron Man name is synonymous with competition, with winning, with, I wouldn't say winning, but being the best version of yourself. Now, in America, the whole idea of the American dream is that you can succeed based on your own hard work, your own will and drive to be better. And that also ties into the idea of capitalism, which is the idea that you can beat your competition to succeed, gain more monetary value, be better, do more than the other guy. Now, why I'm using an Iron Man watch to show that is because clearly it's a timer. It's an objective way to show that you beat someone, you're better than someone. I use this every single day in practice to measure my runs. So again, that's just a way to show that in American culture, winning, being the best, doing better than the other guy is extremely important. When during the coverage of the during NBC's coverage of the Olympics, who did they have on the talk show portion of their coverage? Gold medalists. That was it. They would never have bronze medalists or silver medalists shown. That's because in America, second place isn't good enough. You have to be first. You have to be a winner. So a watch, I know that's like I said, it was a far way to go from just a watch to show that, but I think it makes sense in that in American culture, winning, being number one, is so important. No one cares about second place. Going back to the sports idea, again, a watch is a good tie-in to sports that are valued, sports entertainment that is valued super highly in the United States. The Super Bowl. Who who cares who got second at the Super Bowl? The hats that they make literally are sent off to children in Africa because nobody wants them. No one cares about who got second place. That's just what I mean. So again, a watch is a great way of showing that. And the final thing, I can't really pull it out of my bag because it's actually on my person, but I have a photo of it that's on my phone, which I pulled out of my bag. And what that is a tattoo. Let's see if I can try and get the camera to pick this up. That's about as good as it's gonna get. But anyway, that's a picture of a tattoo I have on my upper right shoulder blade. Now I pick a tattoo as a symbol or item that's very important in American culture because in America, being an individual or being unique is emphasized a lot. You can see magazines, books, television, movies, this idea of marching to the beat of your own drum, being true to yourself, is constantly shown to us. When when we're young children, we're all told you're all special in your own way. It's just this constant idea that is just reiterated again and again. It's not that it's a bad thing. I think it's actually a good thing because you have to learn to love yourself for who you are. But I think a tattoo is a great way of showing that in American culture because what else can distinguish you from everyone else than a piece of artwork that is completely unique that nobody else has and something that's completely permanent. I honestly can't think of anything else that would distinguish like this tattoo. Nobody else has it in the world. I'm the only one. That's something that's incredibly special. And I think that's a great way of demonstrating that idea that Americans value being their own person, being unique, being different than everyone else. And also, another jumping off point from the tattoo is showing how, at least for the more, I guess, I don't want to sound condescending or asinine with this, but for the more educated, or, yeah, I guess I'm just going to say, the more educated, or for those who care in American culture, art is valued very highly. Every major city in the United States has a museum that has priceless pieces of artwork from a whole slew of artists and creators. So a tattoo is another way of showing that people in America value artwork. Even in our urban centers, graffiti is found everywhere, except if it's gang related, it's usually kept up if it's very well done. Again, showing that Americans value beautiful artwork if done in the right setting. So again, I think that a tattoo is a great way of demonstrating that idea and conveying that artwork is very important to us. Kind of went kind of long on this. Sorry about that, but thanks for listening, guys.